by National University of Science and Technology, MISIS. Before I give a floor to the speaker, the head of Department of International Academic Mobility, Mr. Alan Moore, I would like to tell you a few words about MISIS University. So MISIS was established in 1918 and today in 2021 intends to strengthen its leadership position in a number of areas, including material sciences, metallurgy, mining, as well as strongly strengthen its presence in biomaterials, nano and IT technologies. The university has shown significant growth in the QS World University Rankings and in the QS World University Rankings by subjects in 3 areas: materials science, physics, mechanical engineering. MISIS has also entered the global ranking of academic subjects in 2 directions: metallurgical engineering and mining and mineral engineering. So it has 30 research centers and laboratories, as well as 3 engineering centers with modern research equipment. The university provides 9 English medium master's programs in physics, material science, and nanotechnologies. In 2020, Sberbank and MISIS signed a cooperation agreement and approved a roadmap until 2024. The agreement provides for the joint education of specialists on the bachelor's and master programs, the opening of a service, robotics laboratory, based on the university infrastructure, and the conduct of joint scientific research. So, Mr. Allen, please, now you can continue. You are welcome.
Thank you very, very much for a wonderful, warm welcome, and good afternoon from Moscow, from literally and actually the center of Moscow here. And it's not, we've got good weather today, not great, but quite good. So I'll share my screen in just one moment. Okay. So my ekran 2. So here we go. Okay. So as has already been told, we are the leader of technological education here in Russia. We've also moved very strongly into, let's just say, more the humanities as well. And that's something that I'm more familiar with. I'm from Ireland originally, working in Russia for approximately 10 years and working, well, just a little bit less than 1 year now in MISIS. Here at our university in the center of Moscow, we strive to make sure that it is always student first. That is our motto. And I'll start to move along just so some of the facts and the information and our institutes, colleges, so that you kind of get a bit of a feel for who and what we are. And then, of course, to be open for questions and feedback. We have, I see here, the colleges within our structure. We also, of course, have filials, or let's just say campuses, around Russia, in 4 of the Russian cities, and also in Tajikistan and in Uzbekistan. The oldest part of our university is the College of Mining, which you see here on the, well, in orange. And of course, people, when I heard this, that this was the Mining Institute, I'm actually sitting in the Mining Institute right now. It's the most historical part of our structure in Moscow. I thought, mining, you know, what's this about? But it actually is a lot more than simply digging holes in the ground and finding gold, which is familiar to me because by education, I'm an archaeologist. So of course, you know, I always had the dream that we go off and find gold in the ground. So I'm kind of coming home almost. We also, of course, have our College of Economics and Industrial Management, which is extremely strong in ratings. And there will be 1 new English language master's program coming online. It'll be for next year. Within our, for example, our College of Basic Professional Studies, which also covers our linguistics and humanities, we have 2 of our 9 English language master's programs. One in PR and communications, which is the basic number 1 in Russia, and very highly rated around the world. And also our second language teaching degree as well, which is very highly sought after. And you know, the entry level to get into it is extremely high, but it is very, very worth it. Of course, we're also extremely well known for what we're doing with our nanotechnology and also nanometallurgy, where we've been, you know, leading the development in getting, say, smaller, lighter metals to for in the aerospace industry and not just. So as you see here, we've got our colleges and where you can come to study right away. Our educational model is, I think it's a standard global one. It's a little bit different to most of the other Russian ones, where we do have this focus on students very, very strongly. See in the top, as I'm looking at top left, the student first model, that keeps us all together, from our rector all the way down to myself and to all our teachers. We try to put together the individual education tracks for students, so making sure that every student knows what they need to do and how they need to get to the next level. It's extremely important for us. We are very strict on what we do. There are no easy grades with us, but at the same time, we want to make sure that everyone gets, as we say, a fair shot at advancing themselves. We have our internships for everybody in leading Russian and international companies. So we're partnered up with major Russian companies, from steel producers like steel manufacturers like Severstal, for example, all the way to, of course, we have links with Rosatom, and then to Ernst & Young and to international banks, where we can basically make sure that not only are you getting the academic side of things right, you're also getting the basics, the practice of it. So basically, you're going to be preaching what you're practicing, or vice versa. And of course, Russian language, we make sure that is there and very, very strongly taught for all international students. It is important that at least when you come here, that you get this extra little bit of knowledge as well, because yes, you can study an English language, but to get the Russian will help you not just in your life here, but also in your own confidence and personal development further down the line. As you see here in numbers, we have 135 study areas, 4 levels of professional education. Of course, that goes from bachelor, specialist, which is a very unique Russian construct, and it's related to, especially to our mining institute, because by law here, anyone who wants to work in any of the whole sphere of mining needs to study, it's at a master's level. It's very, very difficult, very hard, but it's a terrific qualification, and all the way then to PhD level, of course, as well. We have 265 academic programs, and as we've already mentioned, 9 English medium programs, and of course 9 master's programs in the English language. Where we are looking around the world, you can see where it's within our programs, we have exchange programs, we have dual degree programs or double degree programs. We have been the leader this year with the UK-Russia University Alliance. We were leading, they had a series of forums, and it was extremely interesting to see what the UK universities were doing, what we were doing here, and we were trying to match them together. So we've been leading that process as well in terms of getting greater recognition for qualifications from Russian universities. We've just under 30 foreign universities where we have active mobility programs, and it's very well managed here within our offices. And we have around 100 foreign students in terms of for incoming mobility per year. Of course, many of them are coming from the former or current CIS countries, former USSR, but also from around the world as well, from Germany, from Switzerland, not yet from Ireland, but of course, now that I'm here, I'm going to make sure to encourage people in, but of course, we're not just looking at that alone. Our master's programs in English language is for 2 years, and the people who are teaching these programs are some of the most globally recognized Russian scientists and lecturers. They're absolutely terrific, and they speak great English as well. And most importantly for them, they want every student who comes in here that when they leave, they will walk straight into a job. It's not just that they want to study further, that you're simply just doing a little tick the box, I've got my master's. No, they want you to go on and progress as a professional. Quickly through, we've got the advanced materials science, which is extremely interesting and very, very useful. And again, many of our students who've come here from, for example, Latin America, they've moved immediately, for example, back to Mexico and gone straight into working in major laboratories or major industrial companies. the innovative software designs, systems, that's part of our IT faculty, and we have a link with Huawei, the Chinese, telecom and IT giant, and many of our students work with them and then progress on as well. And of course, Russia being a tech hub, it's very easy to progress from this and on. Communications, international PR is extremely important. Many of the students, we found them, they've immediately gotten work with international news organizations, with international marketing companies, with international research companies. The entry level, even for students of these programs, in terms of salary, is 40 to 60% higher than people who are coming out with like a general master's degree, especially in Russian language, or even from Western universities. I say Western as in European universities. So it's a very, very well-run program and very, very useful and beneficial. Nanotechnology again, and materials from micro nano systems is run with our very, very close friends here in the Institute of Nanomaterials and Metallurgy. They're in the same building as us and do a terrific job as well. Solar energy, of course, is a growth area, and we've now got more and more students looking at us from, for example, Germany, where there's a huge interest, and they're crying out for people who have the knowledge of how to put together the materials, to put together the complex, as they call them, for solar energy in Germany, especially the former East Germany. So, this is an area where get this program and immediately you are, you're being hotly sought after. Again, I'm moving. Quantum physics, of course, advanced metallic materials and engineering. Second language teaching is terrific because this program is recognized in nearly all EU countries, where you can actually go then and teach high school, for example, or begin a career path as a researcher or a developer in educational programs within Europe. Of course, within Russia, it's a given, but in Europe, it's very important as well. Data science. Well, it goes without saying that here, with our links with the big telecommunications company in Russia and globally, all of our graduates from this program immediately get work in these companies. They usually, when they go in for a semester exchange or they go in for an internship, they're usually kept on. So we have to make sure that they keep studying with us because they're already earning very good money by putting into practice what they're learning with us. Again, what we're talking about, like from partner universities, we're welcome to study in where they can do an academic year, take part in a double diploma program. They can do a semester studying with one of our master's programs in English, of course, and do a research semester, which is extremely important as well. A mixed semester, which is studying research, which is something that we are giving a lot more focus to. And of course, winter and summer schools, we organize them usually in the summer, where we will do a week here in Moscow and a week at one of our filials, or at another university in Russia, where you can pick up, for example, oil and gas engineering knowledge, or environmental knowledge, or mining knowledge. So just because you're studying something, you could be studying, for example, philosophy, but it's always good to know, how to make the environment better, and you can be philosophical about that as well. Our academic calendar is the first semester is September until January, and the second one then is a little break in January, the end of January, start of February, and then you start again February until June. And of course, then you have the entire summer, quite a bit of June, all of July, and all of August free. Here is our location within Moscow. I see the Kremlin is not too far away from us, Red Square, the Bolshoi Theatre, the Tretyakov Gallery of Fine Arts. What we haven't noted in this is that we also have within our system where we have the International Student Council, and through that you have so many activities to get involved in, including major sports events. We have sports here at the university as well, a very active sports life, cultural life, from music, dance. If you want to go to watch Champions League football, we have tickets always going in Lokomotiv Moscow, Spartak Moscow, of course. Well, they won't be in the Champions League this year, CSKA Moscow, and so on. And of course, when it comes into cold weather, you don't want to be standing outside. There is ice hockey, which is always great to see. And of course, in Gorky Park beside us, you have the open ice skating in the winter. So you just basically go along, hire your skates, and fall down a lot. That's what I usually do on the ice. Our residents, the one of the award-winning, his award-winning residence for students called Dome Commune, or the Communal House, has terrific. It has like a full laundry, cafes, canteens, stores. There's pharmacies nearby as well. And of course, here in the center of Moscow, you want for nothing. In terms of if you're looking for fast food, we have all the fast food places from around the world here with us. Any type of cuisine. Being from Ireland, I want to sort of taste something from Ireland. So of course there are Irish restaurants and bars and pubs. If I want to try Italian, there's pizzerias, there are Italian food places, Vietnamese, Chinese, Indian as well. It's terrific in Moscow. So anything you want is here in terms of food and also clothes as well. Supermarkets are always fully stocked with goods from around the world. So basically, if you're missing something from home, you'll find it here in Moscow. And I'll just finish up with saying this is our main contact. So myself, Alan Moore, and Svetlana Dubrovska, who's also on the call and monitoring to make sure I don't make any mistakes. And there are emails, and you can just contact us at any time, any questions, any feedback, and we're always delighted to answer your questions. And I'll escape from this and go back then, and I think I'm not sharing my screen anymore, or I'm no longer sharing my screen, or am I? I'll stop my sharing. Okay. Yeah, I'll just finish up my part on it by just saying that we want students to come here and be educated, not just in the classroom, not just in the gym or walking around the city and taking in Russia itself, because remember, there's so much to see in Russia. It's a wonderful country, otherwise I wouldn't be still here. And also in the CIS, the most important thing for us, yes, we say student first, but when you come to us, you might come in to study PR communications or nanotechnology or data science. You might not end up working that in your career, because we do know that people change careers now. Before, up until the start of the 90s, people changed careers two times. And even for a long time in Russia, someone changing a career was a big, big leap. Now, people will, at minimum, change 4 times a direction of their career. We know that when you come to us, you'll get the academic knowledge, you'll get the social knowledge, you'll get the skills, tools, and instruments that will make you very, very wanted in the labour market and in society, of course. And the most important thing, you'll come here and you will find yourself. You'll find your way. So you come here to us to study, and you'll find your way with us. No matter what you want to do, you'll find it. We'll help you every moment. So any questions, any feedback, I'm ready to answer.
Yeah, thank you very much for your very warm presentation. It was really nice to hear all this. And traditionally, before we go to our next webinar with the next university, we have 2 questions for you to answer. We do not need a long presentation, just in a few words, please, Mr.
Sure.
Mr. Moore. Yeah, so the first question is, what kind of partnership was established by MISIS with Rosatom and in what field?
Well, the great thing is with Rosatom, people, when you see atomic, they think, oh, it's just atomic energy, but it's so much more than that. I mean, even in fields of environment, in terms of the materials that go into reactors and so on. So a lot of the research that has been, let's just say, given over to us in parts of projects has been how to make materials safe for working within reactor plants, for example, or also then projects being done and studying environmental and how we can also eliminate any heavy metals, for example, or metals that are related to the industries that Rosatom work within or work with. So we make the environment safer. We make that, so that's part of our project as well. So this is how Rosatom have very wisely given it over to people who do tech and technological advancement very, very well. And that's how we've been able to cooperate with Rosatom.
Okay, thank you very much. And our last question, what are the top popular specialities at your university for foreign students? What do they choose?
Oh, that's an awful question. It's a very good question, but an awful question. How can I answer it? Whatever I say, I know.
Their favorite specialities for foreigners.
Well, I would say that they like to spend time in our canteens. The food is very, very good. But I know you're talking about academic pursuits. So the favorites for foreigners, PR communications for some people have really gotten into that because they see how they can develop in that. It's growing in popularity. Of course, second language education, that again is something that can be used, to further the development. Three, or I should say four more technical ones, again, is because of people who want to move into certain fields. The data science is very popular because the immediate graduate salary is so high. I mean, we're talking monthly between $3,000 and $5,000 for a qualified data science after an English language master's, for example. It's a very, very good salary. Also, then, even though it's in Russian, mining is still very, very popular because of the needs of the mining community, especially for post-mining landscapes. And I would then also say that with, definitely with the sort of nanometallurgy, for example, is very, very important because of making these kind of very, making metal smaller and lighter but stronger because people are trying to cut down on waste. So this has also become, very, very popular and very interesting for foreign students. Because again, it's something you can pick up here and go anywhere in the world and make very good money from.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Allen. We are running out of time, and thank you once again for your presentation, for being with us.
Thank you very much for allowing us, and have a great day, everyone. And thank you so much for this brilliant opportunity.
The same to you. Bye.